For lesson 6.6, we are going to use a similar formula that we did in the previous lessons to find simple interest. So we're still working with percents. And interest is the amount of money that is either charged for borrowing or using money. You can also earn interest on money that you put into a savings account or other types of accounts like 401ks and things like that. So, simple interest is one type of fee paid for the use of money. So, this is our formula. We have your interest. So, this is your simple interest. And that's going to equal P times R times T. So what do all of these things are? P is your principal, or your amount of money borrowed. Okay, so this is the amount of money that you've borrowed. R is your rate of interest. And T is time. Okay, so it's a simple multiplication equation of P times R times T to find your interest. So rate, time, and the initial amount of money that you started with, or principal. So let's look at the first example they give us. And I'm just going to write that equation up here so that we remember it. So it says Tristan borrowed $14,500 from his brother and promised to pay him back over 5 years at an annual simple interest rate of 7%. How much will he pay? How much will he pay if he pays up the entire loan at the end of the 5th year? What is the total amount he will repay? So, we're trying to find I. We know that his principal is $14,500, sorry. His rate was 7%, so we're going to multiply that by 0.07, and over time was 5. So at this point, you should be able to use a calculator for this. These are larger numbers that we're dealing with. So you're going to multiply these three things. Remember, we take our interest, our percentage, and put it into decimals. Translate all of your percents into decimals. And you can use a calculator, so 14,500 times 0.07 times 5 is going to give us 5,075. That's his interest. So the first part of the question says, how much interest will he pay if he pays this off in 5 years? He's going to pay $5,075. That's his interest. How much is he going to pay in total? You would add the principal and the interest. So in total, he will pay back his brother $19,575. Okay? So his brother will make $5,000 off of this loan. All right, let's look at another problem where we have everything but the time. So they're going to give us an example 2, the amount. So we have $3,500 as the amount he invested in a mutual fund at a yearly rate of 6%. And instead of using those, I'm going to use parentheses for our multiplication and less dots on the board. He earned $945 in interest. So what we don't know is T. So we're going to solve for T. So the first thing we're going to do is multiply 3,500 by 0.06. And what do we get for that? We get 210. And then we still want T by itself, so divide each side by 210. and t equals 4.5. So 4.5 years he had it invested. So at 0.06% for 4.5 years, $3,500, he made $945 on top of that. Okay, let's look at another one. Example 3, it says, this is a savings account example. Nadia's aunt deposited $3,000 into a savings account. As a college fund for Nadia. How much will this account after 5 years if she earns a yearly simple interest rate of 3.5%? So we're going to multiply that by 0.035 and 5 years. So first we're going to find the interest rate. Then we're going to add that to the initial amount put in, or the principal, in order to find the total. So first let's find the interest rate, and then we'll find the total. So 3,000 times 0.035 times 5 is going to equal $525. Now we're going to add that. So her total in her account after 5 years with a 3.5% annual interest rate is going to be $3,525. Okay, and let's do the last one, and then you can get started on your homework. Make sure you have this formula written in your notes. I equals PRT. Okay, keep that in your notes. So, let's see. To pay for college, Hannah borrows $7,000. She plans to repay the loan in 5 years at simple interest. If Anna repays a total of $9,187.50, what is the interest rate? Okay, so what we first have to do is we have to find out what I is. So we're going to take, excuse me, we're going to take her total, which was $9,187.50, and we are going to subtract the $7,000 that she initially borrowed. We're going to have 0, 5, 7, 8, 1, 2. So our I is $2,187.50. So we'll put that in there. So 2187.5 is going to equal 7,000 times R times 5. Okay? So we're solving for R. So the first thing we're going to do is multiply 7,000 times 5. So 2187.5 equals 3,500 times R. And we'll divide this by 3,500. That cancels out. 35,000, sorry. And this side by 35,000. And we will find out that R equals 0.0625 or 6.3%. Or I guess you could do 6.25%. The book says 6.25. So, okay? So make sure you're keeping this formula in mind, and remember this is giving you the interest, not the total. If you want to find the total, you add the principal plus the interest to find your total. Okay, keep that in mind. There's going to be multiple steps on some of these problems. Okay, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask, or you can get started on your homework.